No brotherhood initiated me. No lineage reaching back to the fall of Atlantis brought me into its circle. Therefore, I feel completely free to say anything I want. Nobody has ever come to me and said, "You are spilling the beans. You are telling the secret." A long time ago, and, we all have different opinions. This is mine. I hope it doesn't offend. But a long time ago, I took an oath to tell all secrets that came my way. Don't tell me a secret. I won't keep it. I'm against secrets. I'm against hierarchies, lineages, all assumption of special knowledge on the part of anyone in the presence of anyone else is abhorrent to me. I mean, I am a true anarchist, first and foremost.
A Republican government is, in the United States, supposed to represent the individual, the small businessman, but it does nothing of the kind. And nor does the Democratic government. They're both the same. There's no way of choosing between them, except which group of gangsters you're going to put in power. I don't know how it is in Canada, but that's what it is below the border. I'm, in a way, an anarchist, in the sense of the philosophical anarchist, not the bomb-throwing anarchist, but the Prince Kropotkin style of anarchist, who would like to leave things pretty well alone. So they sort themselves out. All society depends on our trusting each other. Now, we're all untrustworthy, but there is no alternative than trusting each other, even though our trust may be misplaced. We must make that gamble, because the only alternative to trusting each other is a police state. And who trusts the policeman? Do they have our best interests at heart? All governments become self-serving corporations with their interests at heart. So face it, in the hard-boiled, realistic way, we've got to trust each other. And there is no way of going on unless we do that.
And I think what people, the idea of the citizen is arguably toxic. The idea that we all are participating in some enormous polity works against individualism. I mean, if you tried to nail me to my politics, people can't figure out whether I'm a right-winger, a left-winger, or what I am. I'll tell you straight out, I'm an anarchist. I am an absolute anarchist. I mean, I believe in people more than abstractions or institutions. I will always rely on people. To a level perhaps uncomfortable for you. I remember back in the 60s, my line was, if you come upon a mob, you must join, because the people understand far more than you do about what is going on. And that kind of radical commitment to freedom is going to be necessary to dismantle these very, very rigid power structures that are, being shoved down everybody's throat. And so the new culture, I think, is a dispersed virtual culture on the internet that is not product-oriented. It's aesthetics should rule the world, and the best ideas should win. But we all have to stop being consumers. We have to redefine really who we are. It's a much more courageous role. I'm about 18 months ago, I moved to Hawaii, and I've lived in Hawaii off and on many times. It was not unfamiliar to me. But living off the grid, but with the net, but 10 seconds away from climaxed Hawaiian rainforest, so I can always push back from my desk and just take a walk in the woods. I realize, I think this is how people are supposed to live, dispersed over the surface of the earth, very little moving around. Vehicular travel is less and less defensible. Off-grid, solar electric, information-based, and virtual community that no one can track or criticize because it's all going on the grid. I think if you're smart, you should buy real estate in extremely remote areas, because soon there will be no remote areas from the point of view of the net, and just a very different kind of world is coming into being. It's not a good time for organizations, for massive hierarchical structures that depend on managerial control, and they know it. It's interesting that corporations, don't seek to grow to the size of nations because it's highly inefficient. No corporation has a welfare class built into it. What corporation has a component inside itself that it sends out checks to every month for not working? Well, the executive class. That's the answer to